All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just My Thoughts. So, on Tuesday, I gave you the 5 do's when it comes to starting a conversation or having a conversation. So, today, I'm going to continue with the 5 don'ts. So, these are the 5 don'ts when it comes to having a conversation. Number 1, don't talk about controversial subjects. You hear this in the workplace, you hear this, at school, university, so on and so forth. These are conversations that are controversial and are very divisive, okay? So I'm talking about religion. You don't talk about religion. You got Christians, you got Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, atheists, so on and so forth. All these different people who have a set number of beliefs based upon some doctrine. And when you talk about those subjects, one, in most cases, you're not able to tell a person's religion simply by looking at them. So if you have something negative to say about a particular religion, you might offend someone. And that can get into an argument, that can lead to an argument, or just cause the person not want to talk to you. So it's counterproductive when it comes to having an argument. Politics, it's the same thing. I debate politics on a regular basis on my Facebook page. I post politics, I have my own political views and everything like that. And the conversations tend to get intense because I'm coming from one perspective, talking to people who have a completely different perspective when it comes to politics. So having a debate about politics is okay. A debate about religion is okay. But a conversation, that's a topic that you want to steer clear from. Also, money. The statement is you never ask a woman her age and you never ask a man about his money. So don't ask how much a person makes. It's none of your business. Don't live in someone else's bank account, so you don't want to talk about money. If you're, afforded a lavish lifestyle, great. If someone offers that information, great. But that's not something that you should be inquiring about. Don't talk about money. Gender roles. Male, female. I'm not going to get into all these other identities that we've, that have sprouted up. Male and female. Men should do this, women should do that, so on and so forth. It's not as controversial as religion and politics, but it can be a controversial subject. So as a man, if I say, a woman should be in the kitchen, she should, grovel at her man's feet and treat him like a king and do everything, barefoot and pregnant, that whole thing. I might be in a conversation with a diehard feminist who think that women are, liberated and that women are the true powerhouse and so on and so forth. So that can be a tense discussion. And so you want to just steer clear of those gender role conversations. Sexual orientation. Like I said, we have all these different identities and everything like that. We have the LGBTQ, RSTUV now. And so, like I said, in most cases, you can't tell a person's sexuality simply by looking at them. So if you have something negative to say about a particular sexuality or practice, it can lead to an argument or, offense to someone. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you should not talk about. And that's just number 1. So don't talk about controversial topics unless you are in, the comfort of people that are of like mind, them, and those are things that you guys want to talk about. That's whatever you talk about behind closed doors, that's on you. All right. Number 2, don't be distracted by your phone, your TV, or other people. So don't be distracted. Focus on the conversation. If you're talking to a group of people or even just one person, pay attention. And I mentioned this in the last video. Eye contact. Okay. So I get annoyed if I'm talking to someone and they're like this. No, I'm using my phone, so I can't look at it right now. So if they're like this, because some people can multitask, but it's still rude. I want your undivided, which means I get the whole. I get all of your attention. I want your undivided attention. So don't be distracted. If there's a game on or something like that, and someone's talking to you and you're just focused on the game, or anything on the TV, or even just other people around. I mentioned oh man, did you see the hot girl walk by? My focus was on this woman and not on what you were saying to me. I might have missed an important point, what you were trying to say, and I gave my attention to something or someone else other than giving it to you. So it's rude, it's disrespectful, and it's not a good way to keep the conversation going. I hate repeating myself. And when I have to, I will do it. But if I'm constantly having to repeat myself because you're not paying attention, then it disincentivizes me, or if that's the proper word. It makes me not want to continue the conversation. I'm constantly having to repeat myself, so I'm making it go twice as long because I'm having to say the same thing over and over again because you're not paying attention. So don't be distracted. That's number 2. Number 3, don't change the subject without a conclusion of the current topic. Don't change the subject without a conclusion of the current topic, okay? Allow each person to speak his or her mind regarding the topic. Have a discussion before moving on. You don't get to just decide that this conversation is over. I've made my point. I've said what I had to say. Now let's move on to something else. No. Allow each person that's a part of that conversation the floor so that they can share their thoughts and their opinions regarding it before you move on to something else. It's rude for you to, in the middle of a conversation, decide that you're done talking about it and you want to start talking about something else. It happens. Trust me. So that that's a big one. Don't change the subject until you've come to some kind of conclusion with the current topic. All right. But on that, you don't want to drag it on for hours and hours and hours. That leads me to number 4. Don't beat a dead horse. Okay? If the topic is going in circles and there seems to be no resolution, table it and move on. And I hate this expression, but agree to disagree. When you see that, okay, this is a hot topic, so maybe you did get caught up in one of those controversial subjects, politics, money, religion, so on and so forth, and it's just going back and forth and the temperature is rising and you're not coming to any kind of conclusion. When you see that it's just going round and round, you're saying what you're saying, the other person's saying what they're saying, and there seems to be no middle ground, gray area, or anything that you can get to. Don't beat the dead horse. Don't keep trying to pound your point in. Agree to disagree and move on. That makes sense, right? Okay. Number 5. Don't feel the need to always have a response or a rebuttal. And sometimes this one is for me, because I do counseling, and people since, my youth have come to me for advice. And so I'm programmed to be ready with a response. So if someone comes to me and they're talking to me, my mind wants to listen to the problem and then provide a way to solve it. But sometimes your response and your rebuttal is not necessary. So don't feel the need to always provide a response or a rebuttal. Even if you disagree with the person, it is not necessary to always express that disagreement. That's a tough one. Sometimes it is not constructive to the progression of the conversation as a whole. Remember, it's a conversation, not a debate. So you don't always need to be right. I wrote all this, by the way. This is all me, mine. So I'm speaking to myself. I will disagree. But we're looking at the conversation as a whole. Is it necessary for me to express that disagreement all the time? No, it's not. Sometimes you just allow the person to speak their mind, and you have a dialogue about it, and you move on, because you don't want to beat the dead horse. And you don't need to be right in every situation. It's a conversation. If we're talking about the best food or whatever, something not controversial, the best restaurant. Oh, I really like going to Ruth Chris. Oh, I prefer to go to Charlie's, whatever. You know, they have better steak. Oh, no. So simple things. But sometimes even those simple, non-controversial conversations can get heated for whatever reason. But when you're having a conversation, remember that it is a conversation and not a debate. So you don't need to be right. Accept that person's opinion, their feelings on the matter, and move on. Look at the big picture, the overall conversation, and not just that one specific particular thing where no, they're wrong. I got to make sure that they understand and know that they were wrong. It's not important. Just keep it moving. All right. So that's just my thoughts when it comes to the 5 don'ts when having a conversation. I hope that these do's and the don'ts, if you haven't seen the do's, check out the video from Tuesday, the 5 do's. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Are my don'ts any good? Are there others that you can add to the list? What are your thoughts? Do you think that any of this will be helpful to you? If you know anyone who has trouble holding conversations, or when they get into conversations, the conversations always get heated, share this video and the do's video with them. Stay tuned for another video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, whatever you do, do it justice.